So welcome back to the dumbest bill in America. I'm Mark Fisher. We have with us again Delegate Brian Chisholm. Welcome back, Brian.
Good to be here.
So get this, podcast listeners. Our dumbest bill in America today is House Bill 1381 from Delegate Jeff Long from the state of Maryland, of course. Jeff Long, in House Bill 1381, wants to change the name of the House of Delegates to the House of Representatives. Now, Maryland has two state houses. Of course, we have the Senate, and then we also have the House of Delegates, bicameral legislature. But I think, Delegate Jeff Long, Brian, wants to make it sound like it's a lot more prestigious by calling it the House of Representatives.
Well, I think if you think about what we actually do in Annapolis, we do delegate. We delegate people into poverty. We delegate people into other states. We don't do a very good job of representing people. So I think we should stay delegates because we're pretty good at delegating and really, really bad at representing.
So what do you think he's up to here? I mean, obviously, this is going to cost a lot of money because, everything online says House of Delegates. This is the way the Maryland legislature has been since the beginning. Of course, we have a House of Delegates. It's one of the original 13 colonies. It's very historic. So much would have to be changed. It would cost a fortune to do this. Why do delegates waste their time? Why is Jeff Long wasting everybody's time on this?
Because they introduced 2,380 some bills, I think, down there this year. So everybody's looking for something to do. I mean, Mark, honestly, if I could think about it, how many people have ever come to me and said, you guys should change your name from delegates to representatives? Nobody has ever said it to me. So I think he was just looking for some way to say, hey, I got this bill through and it's been very impactful. Because if you did do something like that, that would be a pretty big change. It's a very unnecessary change, but it's a big change.
That is so true. No one has ever asked me either, hey, Mark, you know what I want? I want it to be called the House of Representatives. It sounds so much better than the House of Delegates. And go waste money on that. After all, Maryland is pretty much broke. So let's waste more money on more things that don't really matter.
Yeah, we're pretty good at that. We're pretty good at spending money with very little result, if not a negative result. And this is just another example of it.
By the way, Brian, this bill did not pass. That's a good thing. Yes. And it's a good thing because of all the money it would waste, as we said, but also the legislature's time. And it would be a constitutional amendment. That was his goal, is to send it to the citizens of Maryland to vote on the matter as if, this was going to change, the taxation rate in Maryland. It was going to change the regulations in Maryland. It was going to change the way people want to retire and leave the state, right? It wouldn't do any of those things.
Well, we know what happens when bills fail, right? That means they're on deck for next year. So certainly this is probably going to be on deck for next year so that it can be there for election time and they can they can vote on it there, because this is what our citizens are very concerned about.
And that is another dumbest bill in America, House Bill 1381 from Delegate Jeff Long from the state of Maryland, changing the House of Delegates to the House of Representatives. See you next time.